We're looking at practice clips from minicamp and OTAs. Today we're looking at the Colts, and we're looking at the quarterback battle between Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson as we get to training camp. We're going to talk about what we want to see, what could we see, what could the year look like with these quarterbacks. Before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because training camp's right around the corner, and we're going to be looking at the practice clips of your rookies, your quarterback battles, guys you're getting ready to draft in fantasy football here soon. Click that button. Stop missing out. But we got a quarterback battle of a lifetime here today with the Colts. I got 10 minutes of clips from practices from this spring/summer. Let's go over it. But the big thing here is this quarterback battle. Danny Dimes, Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson's been dealing with a shoulder injury. We want to see how that looks in training camp. I'll just say how that looks in training camp. Like, can we do a full training camp? Like, he may come back, but is it going to rear its head again? And if it does, that could be game over and it's Daniel Jones time. That's one thing about it. Like, he's taking mental reps, he's doing all this, he's getting ready. But it's really like, even if you think Anthony Richardson's the better play, the shoulder. And if we're talking about that realm of possibility with Daniel Jones, a quarterback, what would that look like and what are we expecting to see? We're seeing him make some throws in practices. We're seeing some highlights, but we're not really getting a full documentation of what's going on in practice. One thing to note here is you got an underrated wide receiver depth chart here. Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, A.D. Mitchell, Alec Pierce. If A.D. Mitchell takes a step forward and develops to his upside from what we were seeing during draft season last year with that 4.3 speed, the ability to be technical. Michael Pittman bounces back this year after having a bad back injury or back situation last year that he was playing through. Josh Downs stays healthy, creates separation, and has always been reliable. If you get that, then Daniel Jones, there's a lot of ifs here. But if Daniel Jones just reverts back to where he was a few years ago with the Giants, pre the knee injury, then you might have something here, a good distributor of football, because you also got Jonathan Taylor. Like, you got a lot of pieces here with the Colts. Where you just need somebody to distribute the rock and not have turnovers. Like, you do not need to make plays. Anthony Richardson, like, he can get you yards on the ground for sure. He's developing. We're expecting him to take that step forward, and we're expecting that to be massive somewhere down the line. Time's also running out on that. Like, this is not for now league. That's the thing is. Not for long league. It's better stated. Not for long league for developing players, especially at the quarterback spot. You get some time, but you got to really get it. It's hard when you're banged up. And they need it now. You added Tyler Warren in there, a very dependable tight end prospect where he's going to ramp up to his role somewhere down the line. And it's all hindering on the shoulder of Anthony Richardson because if he's back healthy starting off the training camp, are we going to get back for a full training camp? Or are we going to be like this 2 weeks in and we got a towel and we're taking mental reps? That's the thing about this. And his first couple years of his career, he's had some moments, but it's also been some down moments. He took himself out of a game. No one's going to let him live that down. If that shoulder's not right or it gets worse by the end of camp, it's the Daniel Jones show. Can he beat out Daniel Jones and keep his role in the team? That is the question, and he's got to stack days in training camp. If we're out and can't stack days in training camp, there's like almost no way, but we got to stack days in training camp. We got to continue to have good practices. There's potential for that. We also got to take a step forward with this team. You got players around you. You got to take a step forward. You got to be more consistent. I would not be surprised if we see both quarterbacks out on the field. I would not be surprised if Daniel Jones does not play to what he played as a Giant before that knee injury. He was looking good. He's spraying the ball around. He had some numbers where it was like top 10 in the league, especially starting some good deep balls. And we had that knee injury. We had those down moments. But guess what? Those down moments can continue. Like, Daniel Jones could play bad. And we're back to Anthony Richardson. And Anthony Richardson, like, he's just got to dial some things in. He's got to progress. Now, he needs time, but time's not really there. It's just realistic. Time's not really there. You got to get it going. Daniel Jones, the what if with him is, can we revert back to what we were to enough where we can spray the ball around a bit with these wide receivers, not turn over the football? Can we do that? Rely on Jonathan Taylor. Everybody stays healthy. Can we do that? There's a what if with that too. Anthony Richardson, is he going to be healthy for the season? And can he develop and take a step forward? Like, he's got to take a step forward. There's what ifs with these quarterbacks. And if we don't hit the what if with any of these quarterbacks, you're going to have a top pick next year. You're going to have a top pick. It's not going to be a glorious season. But if you can get remotely there with either one of these guys, then you could backdoor your way into the playoffs, because you got good wide receivers here. You got a tight end prospect that's a hell of a prospect. You got Jonathan Taylor. You could backdoor your way into that. And that's just remotely hitting the if. If you hit the if with Anthony Richardson, then you're probably looking at one of the better offenses in the league. And if you hit the if with Daniel Jones, you got a guy spraying it around. And you got Jonathan Taylor there helping you move the chains and relying on that. The if you want to hit on is Anthony Richardson because it's upside. But if you hit on that if with Daniel Jones can spread around a bit. But the if on the downside is it doesn't materialize for that player, and it ain't good. Like, we've seen Danny Dimes not look like Dimes. We've seen him look bad. We've seen him look very bad. That's encouraging if you're rooting for Anthony Richardson, because Danny Dimes could just stay that way, and Anthony Richardson could come back from that injury. It could be this training camp. It could be middle of training camp. He starts looking good. It could be middle of season. Like, even if he comes back day one of training camp, it could rear its head, and he may need some time. That's the thing about that. You got Daniel Jones, though. Now you're battling against a quarterback that's had some issues during the start of his career, injury, on and off play, consistency. Now you're trying to revert your career back. You're with a team that has a very good running back. Now you got good wide receivers all around you. You got wide receivers that have to take a step forward in their development because they're young in their career with a lot of upside. Now, if that happens, that's going to help you out immensely. Where if you revert back, you have a chance to stick around the league more. Stick around, have the chance to be a starter somewhere if you hit. You have the chance to backdoor this team into the playoffs. You have the chance to do that. There's a lot of what ifs with these Colts quarterbacks. I'm expecting this battle to play out in training camp. What we need is Anthony Richardson back healthy. That's obvious. Especially to push Daniel Jones. We don't want him comfortable. We want him to be pushed. That's another thing to think of. That if Richardson isn't healthy or he reverts his injury back, Daniel Jones, by proxy, will probably just get the job. He'll feel good about it. And we don't want him to feel good. We want him pushed. We want him to push everything out of him. His development with this team. So we're ready for the start of the season. I mean, he's going to be ready, but we want him to be ready if you're a Colts fan. That's the thing about this. You want him to be ready. You want him to be optimal. Because the one thing you do not want is a not optimal Daniel Jones. Where the top quarterbacks in the league, they can get by because they're a top quarterback. He's not a top quarterback in the league. He's a guy coming back from some down moments, trying to raise himself up by his bootstraps right now with the Colts. And this pressure from Anthony Richardson, you need that too. You need these guys to push each other. You can't have one of these guys out. You need these guys to push each other. Same goes for Anthony Richardson. He needs pushed by Daniel Jones. We don't have time much more to waste for this development. They just don't. You need this to be pushed. You need to look over your shoulder. You need this opportunity. This is an opportunity for you to push yourself. I get it. Not a lot of starts in college. Limited experience. But at the same token, it doesn't matter anymore. It's 2025. If things go really bad this year, they're drafting a quarterback probably. It's a decent quarterback class next year. I'll say decent. Everybody's saying it's good. But guys could not come out. Guys could stay in. There we go. What if things really go off the rails and you go from Peyton Manning to Luck to Purgatory to Arch Manning? And I'm not really sure or expecting Arch Manning to come out for next year's draft, but maybe it's the year after. What if you do that? You go Peyton to Arch. Peyton to Arch. That would be interesting. That'd be an interesting storyline. And the thing about Arch coming here, he'd have weapons all over the place. That's the thing about this. Jonathan Taylor would be a little bit deeper in his career. That's the thing to think about. That running back position's rough. But you're looking at these quarterbacks. They're fighting it out. They're fighting it out. And this is going to be an interesting quarterback battle to watch throughout this offseason. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.